Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Naomi Rook. If you're brand new to my channel, consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also make sure to ring the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I do upload a video. Today, what I am going to do is testing new makeup. This is almost a full face of new makeup. Some of them I've tried a few times. I did purchase off of Beauty Bay's website. I also got quite a large purchase from Ulta's website. I have a lot of bronzers, blushes, and highlights in this video. I didn't use all of them, but I did swatch all of them so we can kind of compare some of the formulas. Some of the products I tested out. So I have two bronzers. I have the Pink Honey. This is the BFF Pink Honey Bronzing Face Frosting. That is one of the bronzers I tried. I did also test out the Revolution, and this is the Ultra Cream Bronzer. For blush, I used one of the new E.L.F. Luminous Putty blushes. Let's see, for highlighter, I have quite a few highlighters in this video. I used the Flower Beauty. This is the Day Glow Highlighting Glaze. I used the Essence. This is the Kiss by the Light Powder Illuminator, and then also the new Essence, the highlighter. This is one of their just new powder blushes as well. Let's see, for concealer, I used the Joah Eye Serum Concealer. For foundation, the Missha BB Cream. I got a new color in this one, so I wanted to kind of show you how I use it. I haven't used it in a video for a very long time, but I've loved it for years. Probably one of my most loved, longest loved product in my collection. And then for my lips, I did just throw on whatever I thought was going to match this makeup look a little bit. So I do have the E.L.F. Shirley Satin lipstick, and then one of the SheGlam liners. And then for eyeshadow, this is the most exciting thing in this whole video. This is the Beauty Bay Earthy palette. This is the 30-pan palette. Every single green you could ever need in your entire life. I love that it has neutrals in here as well. Green is my favorite eyeshadow color, so of course I wanted to pick up this palette. It is $25. We'll see how this formula works and my thoughts on this one. So if you would like to see how I created this really beautiful green look and how these products worked out for me, go and keep watching, and let's go ahead and get her done. I am so excited to use the eyeshadow palette today. I'm going to use the Beauty Bay. This is the Earthy palette. This is the 30-pan palette. It retails for $25. When you see this color story, you can definitely understand why I am so excited to use it. I love green eyeshadows more than any other color of eyeshadow. Green is my absolute favorite, and I love that this has greens and neutrals. It's like every single color you could ever imagine, and then the formula is absolutely stunning. So I'm going to swatch some of these. This one is Cava. See, that pigment isn't that just beautiful? This one is Ray. This is really beautiful. I love how thin this formula is and just wet looking. I'm going to zoom you in. Look how beautiful that is. So this formula is such a very thin but really, really impactful full pigment type formula. The colors are just stunning and really up close. They almost look wet. Here is Legend. I don't use a ton of golds, but I can definitely see the benefit of golds with the green palette. Just beautiful. These colors will swatch forever. Watch this one. So it'll go on, and look at that full pigment. And that's just a quick little finger swatch into it, and really just stunning. It feels silky to the touch. You can see it's still blending out. It's just so much pigment. Really, really stunning. I love the metallics in this palette. They're beautiful. The formula I think is going to be really incredible. I'm going to go in with this rave color right here. Beautiful pastel. I love that this palette has a huge mirror. I mean, it is the biggest mirror in my collection. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this up into the crease just to see what type of pigment I can get and if I can build it up. It's definitely pigmented. It looks like it's blending out pretty nicely. Because I kind of have more hooded eyes, I am taking this up pretty high. I've just discovered that just works the best for me if I use a lot of my above my crease to my brow lid space. It works so much better because then I can definitely see the colors when I open my eyes. Alright, so there is that Ray color, super pigmented, really, really bright. I like that a lot. It didn't really blend away or anything, and it's not looking patchy or weird. Next, I'm going to go in with this Apple. It's like a true green color. And I'm going to put that a little bit lower in my crease area. And I'm using my Delamy tools. This is the 783 small tapered blending brush. Really love these Delamy tool brushes. It's the blue triangle handle. Wow, that was a little bit more pigmented than I kind of expected. but it definitely is giving you the color that it shows in the pan. Next, I'm going to go in with the seaweed color. It's a little bit darker. I just am so excited about all these greens because green is my favorite color to wear in my eyes, and this just gives you every single option you could ever need. Honestly, if I like this formula, I could probably just keep this in my collection for my greens and not need another green eyeshadow palette ever again. And it blends so well. I'm not having any issues whatsoever with blending. You can see every color is separate by itself. It's not like mudding together. I really like this. All right, there's the greens in the crease. I'm going to clean this up just a little bit. Use my makeup wipe and just wipe that, give me kind of a more sharp edge. I'm not going to cut my crease or anything. I think I'm just going to throw some glitter glue on my lids. I definitely think these metallics are going to have something to adhere to, a glitter glue for sure. They leave a lot of glitter. The one thing about my Beauty Bay X Nikki Tutorials palette is I did have a lot of fallout if I didn't use something kind of sticky on the lids. So I'm going to use a glitter glue all over my lids, and then we'll go in with some beautiful metallic. And of course, I'm just going to use my NYX Glitter Glue. It's my absolute favorite, really inexpensive. So I just like to squeeze out a little bit on my hand, kind of rub it on to the back of my hand, and then tap it onto my lid so I don't get too thick of a layer. You just need a really thin layer. I think I'm going to go in with this fizz color right here and then kind of just layer on top of it. So I'm going to use my finger and I'm just going to tap that all over my lid. That is so pretty. And then I think on top of that, I want to put a little bit of the Seattle right there. I really like that Seattle color. That looks absolutely stunning. For the back part, I'm going to go with this Folklore and apply just the tiniest bit on the back half of my... Oh, that is beautiful. I hope you can see that. That is absolutely stunning. I'm going to take the brush with the seaweed and blend out kind of the back V area. That is so pretty. I love how that looks. All right, I'm going to hop over, do the other eye just like this, and then I'll be right back. All right, I'm going to leave the eyes there. I did throw on a wing liner. I used my Dull Beauty. This is the Push Poppin liner. It is a brown liquid liner. I will say the liner did have kind of a difficult time going over the metallics. I don't know if it's a specific liner or if it's because the metallics are quite intense. But I did get it to work. I did have to do a couple layers, but it did finally kind of just adhere to the eyeshadow. So I'm going to go ahead and hop into my face. I'm going to prime. The primer I'm going to use is Maybelline Master Blur Stick. I did pull this out of my collection. This is the 120 Light Medium. I have been really liking this, especially for the summertime. I like it because it does have a tiny bit of tint, but it does have that pore filling, kind of smoothing aspect to it. I'll do it on one side so you can kind of see the difference. I saw Cheryl... I can't remember her last name, but I saw her using this on her YouTube video, so I definitely wanted to try it. I love it because it does kind of balance out my skin tone just a little bit, but fills my pores, and I find it gives me that really beautiful airbrushed, very smooth look. So I'll just apply it to one side so you can see, and you really can't over apply it. I have tried putting on quite a lot. I've just put on quite a lot there, and I really find that foundation goes over it really nicely. I am going to use kind of a more sheer foundation, so I wanted to use a primer that had a little bit of coverage. So there is the one side primed versus the other side. You can definitely see it balanced out your skin tone. It looks really nice up close. And for foundation, I'm going to use an all-time favorite. This is the Missha Perfect Cover BB Cream. It has an SPF of 42. It is in the number 27. I have the number 23 that is my winter shade, so I wanted to pick up a summer shade. This one is absolutely perfect. It's honey beige. It's a tad bit darker than my neck, but it matches my arms and my chest perfectly, so then I just bronze up my neck and it all works out. I love this so much. It does have a sheer coverage, which is absolutely perfect for the summertime. I do like to apply it with my fingers. I don't apply many foundations with my fingers, but this one is just beautiful. With my fingers, I blend it in together, warm it between my fingers, and then I just apply it just like a tinted lotion, but it does have a good amount of coverage. It's not super sheer. You can definitely see the coverage, but it is perfect for the summertime. I really love it. It looks a little bit more matte over this primer, but over any other primers or just a hydrating primer, it has a little bit more of a glow luminosity. But I like this with this primer because it just looks completely airbrushed. So there is that. You can see a little bit of redness, but I think it's just perfect amount for the summertime. I really do like this a lot. I'm going to be using Anywhere Concealer. I did pick up the Joah Eye Serum Concealer. I got this off of Amazon. I've used it a few times. It does get very messy very quick. I don't really prefer the sponge applicator, but it's definitely better than like a little pump like the NYX one. So I got this in the color Light with Neutral Undertone. It's a tad dark. That's alright. We'll make it work. So what I'm going to do is just twist it up and apply a little bit under my eyes, right there and right there, and I'm going to put a little bit here. The only thing with this big sponge applicator, I find I can accidentally get a little bit more than I intended to. I'm going to actually blend this concealer out with a brush. I've only ever used a sponge, so I do want to see how it's going to work with this brush. Alright, so I blended out with that brush. I'm getting some kind of harsher lines around here. I'm going to go ahead and tap it in with my sponge, see if I can kind of cancel out those weird lines that I'm getting. That does look really nice. It has some luminosity. It doesn't have a ton of coverage. I would say even with letting it sit, I'm kind of only getting kind of sheer coverage, which is fine. That's perfect for like a no makeup day. It does look nice. It doesn't look heavy or cakey. And you can see that luminosity. So I do kind of like that. I will say with this eyeshadow, it's definitely not quite as much coverage as I need, but it's perfect for like a summer daytime. I think that looks nice. Next, I'm going to go with bronzers. I did buy 2 new bronzers. I'm going to go ahead and swatch both of them. I don't think I'll use both of them on my face, but the first one is the Pink Honey. This is the BFF Bronzing Face Frosting. I've heard quite a lot about this one. So this comes in a ginormous pot. I love the color. The neon pink is like my favorite summer color. And then I did get this in a Milky Mocha. I believe this is one of their lightest colors. They seem to run dark. They looked pretty dark on their website. So I wanted to do this one. So there is that. I probably could have gone up a color. I don't know if this is going to be perfect for summertime. It does feel very creamy, very emollient, and you can see it does have some luminosity. I don't know if it's going to dry down, so that one looks really nice. And then the other one I got is the Revolution Makeup. This is the Ultimate Cream Bronzer, and this is in Light. It's kind of funny because I bought both of these at the same time. This has the exact same feeling, very creamy, very luminous. This is what Light looks like. And then it looks practically identical to the BFF from Pink Honey. It is right there. Right here is the Pink Honey, and then there is the Makeup Revolution. They both have like the same amount of glow to it. The tones look exactly the same. You definitely get a lot more in the Pink Honey component. I'll show you them side by side. So I pretty much duped the same product. Look, pretty much the exact same type of glow in the pan. I probably didn't need both, but I did want to try both of the formulas, and now I know they are a lot alike. So if you had your eyes on the Pink Honey formula, I would probably go with the Revolution. It's definitely a lot cheaper. I'm going to apply one on one side and one on the other just to see if the formulas do work about the exact same. I'm going to use my Delamy Tools. This is the Duo Fiber Foundation Brush. Just tap it right into the product, and then I'm going to tap it onto my skin. This is the Makeup Revolution one. It does give me kind of a natural bronzed look to my face. It's not over the top. It's not super dark. It's blending out really nice. It has a pretty perfumed, almost fruity scent. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that scent. I'd prefer probably that it didn't have a scent at all. There is the Makeup Revolution side. I do wish I had gotten it in a darker color. It's not really giving me that summer bronze. I think it'll be great during the winter. And then on the other side is going with the Pink Honey. And I'm just going to kind of tap that into the skin as well. That looks identical to the Makeup Revolution one. Not really noticing any difference whatsoever. I do like that they're pretty neutral in undertone. A lot of the times these bronzing balms can definitely run pretty warm or orange. I like that these are very neutral. That works really well for my skin tone because I kind of have a neutral undertone. So there is the Pink Honey side. Very lightly bronzed, not super pigmented. Did not really mess up the foundation at all. I think up close, they pretty much look identical. I love that they have luminosity to them. They look very hydrating on the skin. Alright, so the bronzer sat on my face for a minute. I definitely see a lot more glow on the Pink Honey. That side has dried down. It feels a little bit tacky. I don't personally mind that. And then on the Revolution side, it's definitely a bit more matte and feels a little bit more dry. So if you like more of that kind of luminous glow, I would go with the Pink Honey. If you like maybe a bit more matte, but not like super matte, the Revolution is really nice. Other than that, the formulas look practically identical. I think the Pink Honey maybe is a little bit more neutral in undertone, and the Revolution maybe a tiny bit warmer, but really you can barely notice a difference. So there is a difference between those two. I do like both of them. I think the formulas are really beautiful on both of them. I wouldn't say one is extremely better than the other. I've recently purchased a ton of cream blushes. I am so obsessed with the cream blushes. So I did end up getting one of the E.L.F. This is the Luminous Putty blush. This is in, I believe, Bermuda. This is such a beautiful, pretty wearable pink. It's supposed to be very luminous. I have worn this one time. I really do love how luminous this one is. It's a very neutral blush. Looks really pretty on the skin. The other one I picked up is the J-Cat. This is a BlushMallow. I've wanted these forever. So this is in Sweet Cheeks. I think this is one of the first released cream blushes ever. So this has the softest, smoothest, silkiest feeling. This one is very pigmented. I might have gotten a color that's maybe a little bit too much. I love these poppy blushes, but this one is the definition of poppy. So there is that one in Sweet Cheeks. So beautiful and silky and soft. It's a matte finish, but it feels so nice. It's definitely more cool toned and way more pigmented than the E.L.F. one. You can see that this one is matte in comparison to the luminosity of the E.L.F. one. The next one I got is the Honest Beauty. This is the cream cheek and lip color. I love, first off, the component. It is metal, it's white, it's so beautiful. It has a little mirror and it's very thin, so I think that is a really nice, very sturdy feeling blush. I like it. It has this cute little like embossed butterfly on top. Super pretty. So I got this one in the color Peony. This is a beautiful peach color. Peony is such a wearable peach color. Really like the formula of that one. Very creamy, emollient. Gives you that really juicy looking cheeks. It's not as luminous as E.L.F. You can see E.L.F. they almost add a luminosity into it. Not a shimmer or a glitter, but just a really fine milled luminosity. This one is just wet and dewy, but not kind of shimmery in a way. So you can see the E.L.F. one, that's the J-Cat one, and then there is the Honest Beauty. I also picked up one of the Undone. This is the Lip and Cheek Palette in Bubble. I love Undone's concealer, so I wanted to try one of their blush formulas in Bubble. It's so pretty. It does have a sheer, a medium, and a like full coverage type formula. I just blend all of it together. This is one of the most wet, dewy, glossy blushes. I really love the formula of this one. This one is definitely very pigmented as well. It looks a lot like the J-Cat one. So there is Bubble from Undone, then there is the J-Cat one, there is the E.L.F. and there is Honest Beauty. They all look absolutely stunning. I did also buy another one of the Pink Honey. This is the Blush Bible. I love these so much. So I love them. They come together. It is $18 and there is one cream blush and one cream blush topper. So you can put these together. They click together and then it's like a double-sided blush. The one side is a blush topper slash highlighter. This is in the colorway Pink Aura. So this one is a little bit different. It's definitely more of a highlighter color. So there is that one side. The other blush Bible I have is in Girl Code, and that's more of a blush topper. This one's more of a highlighter for the one side. But this cream blush color is absolutely stunning. You can see how wet and emollient it is in the pan. And then when you apply it, it's just a neon coral. So gorgeous. I want to kind of swatch that next to the Honest Beauty. Those are both two coral blushes just so you can kind of see the difference. So Honest Beauty is on the bottom. It's definitely a little bit more wearable, and then this one is the Pink Aura. It is like neon coral. I am so excited to use that combination. I think it's going to be beautiful. I think the one I'm going to use today is going to be the E.L.F. Putty Blush, just because they are the newest on the market. I've only worn it one time, and I think it's going to be the most like neutral, natural to kind of match with the eyeshadow look that I have going on. I'm going to use just a little Luxie brush that I love using for blushes, tap it into the pot, and then just kind of tap it onto my cheeks. I'm going to use this one because my face is looking a little bit more matte and I really want to add that glow back into my face. This is the most luminous of all the blushes just because it does have that almost sheen throughout it. It's not just wet, but it does have some reflection in it. How beautiful is that? Super luminous. I think this is probably the most luminous of all my cream blushes. It's a very wearable color. I would like to get one of the darker colors, but this one's really pretty. Before I apply powder, I'm going to add a gel highlighter. I did pick up the Flower Beauty. This is the Day Glow Highlighting Glaze. I got this from Ulta. This is one of those wet, kind of balmy like highlighters. There isn't a ton of pigment to it. It's really just balm with a tiny bit of sheen, but it gives you that really gorgeous wet looking cheek. I love these type of highlighters. They might not be everyone's cup of tea because they do kind of make your skin feel maybe a little tacky. I do really enjoy having this type of highlighter. It makes your cheeks look wet and so dewy. That's just my type of makeup look, especially in the summer. I love looking just sweaty and like I've been out in the sun all day. And I'll put a little bit on my nose. Powder doesn't go over this fantastically, so when I use this, I do like to just powder kind of away from where it is and not touch too much powder on top of it. So there is that one. It's super beautiful. I would highly suggest this. I love those type of highlighters where they just make you look wet and dewy. I'm going to go in with a little bit of bronzer. I'm just going to use my Esthetica Bronzer. I've been using this quite a lot. A large angled brush just to bronze up a little bit. Taking this bronzer down my neck, just to match my neck, my shoulders, and everything together. And then I do have two powder highlighters. I haven't bought a powder highlighter in a long time, but I saw both of these. They're both from Essence. I saw both of them, and I thought this one, which is the Kissed by the Light Illuminating Powder, I thought this was going to be more of a illuminating bronzer, but really when you blend it all together, it is just a beautiful highlighter. It gives you that very wet look. It blends into the skin really nice, and it's a very thin formula. It does not feel heavy or cakey. It blends right into my skin tone, so it really gives you a natural glow. I like this one especially while I'm a bit more tan. The other one is the highlight, and I wanted to buy this because I love the blush ones. This one is absolutely stunning. This is in 01 Mesmerizing. It's a very light gold. So this one is the same formula, which is kind of weird that they're two completely different ones but the same formula. This one is just lighter. So there is Mesmerizing, and there is the Kissed by the Light. So you can't really see them on my hand. You can just see the glow. I love those type of highlighters. They're not heavy and powdery. I'm going to go ahead and spray my face down. I'm going to go ahead and start with the highlight just because it's lighter. I'm going to go ahead and apply it to this side of my face. You can see it's absolutely stunning, very thin. It does not have a heavy or powdery kind of finish to it. It might be a tad bit too light for me right now. I could definitely see this being a little bit better during the winter, but I'm really surprised by the formula because these are really inexpensive. And the formula is absolutely beautiful, very thin on the skin, kind of that gelée like the Amrezy one. And on the other side, I am going to go and apply Kissed by the Light. And I just blend the two together. I don't know if you would get more of a bronzed look, maybe if you just went into the brown, but the browns in here are so small, there's a lot more highlighter. So I just kind of mix them all together and then apply that to my skin. You can see that definitely has more depth to it. I like that a lot more for when I have a bit more tan. I don't think it's too dark. It doesn't really give me a dark cast, but it's absolutely stunning. If you have a darker skin tone, I would definitely go for this one. And then if you have the lighter skin, I would go for the highlight. But I really do like both of them. For lips, I'm going to do something very neutral. I'm going to go in with my SheGlam. This is the just neutral lip liner. I love this one so much. And then I'm going to go in with my E.L.F. Crème. This is the Shirley Satin lipstick. And I like Crème because it's very light. Alright, I'm going to hop off and do some mascara and I'll be right back. So for an inner corner, I'm going to do Ray and Fresh together and see if I can get a really beautiful metallic, kind of light pale blue. Just mix a little bit of that, a little bit of that. And then I'm just going to apply that to my inner corner. Oh, that is so pretty. Let me zoom you in so you can see how pigmented that Fresh color was. That is stunning. I'm always looking for a really beautiful light blue inner corner. They're just one of my favorites. Like if I'm not going to do anything else, I will throw in a light blue inner corner. That is so pretty. I think that really did brighten up the whole look. It was looking a little bit fall-like, which of course a lot of times dark greens kind of teeter more fall looking, but I think that is so stunning. I love how that turned out. So here's the finished look. I love how this turned out. I think it's absolutely beautiful. The eyeshadow palette, I am so excited for, very impressed. I thought everything really did work really well. It blended so nicely. The metallics are stunning. I don't see any fallout. I do think that glitter glue definitely helped. So I really am excited. I love the inner corner that I did. I think that's absolutely stunning. I really, surprisingly, like both of these highlighters. I haven't been huge in the powder, but I think they're beautiful. I definitely would suggest if you have a light to medium or darker skin tone, I would go with Kissed by the Light. I think that's stunning. The highlight is really pretty, but definitely a little bit too light for me. I would just go with that one. That is so stunning. The blushes, I did only use the E.L.F. blush in this video, but I really do like the formula. I think it's super luminous. I like that it is more wearable. I've been getting pretty much all really bright, super vivid blushes, so I'm glad I kind of went with one that's a bit more wearable, but this was a really beautiful formula. I love all the E.L.F. Putty products, the bronzer, the blush, and I'm sure they'll probably be coming out with a highlighter soon. I really did like the Flower Beauty. This is the highlight glaze. Thought that was really pretty. The Missha BB Cream, this is just an all-time favorite. I'm glad I got a darker color. If you were looking for something very light but does have a good amount of coverage but feels good on the skin, has SPF, highly suggest this. It is only $15 on Amazon. Really like that. There are a lot of colors. And then let's see, I will say probably the biggest and only dud in this video, I'm not a huge fan of the Joah concealer. It's very sheer, but it does look kind of heavy up close. It's kind of settling into lines. It's not looking fantastic on the skin. I would highly suggest either the NYX Bear With Me concealer or the Make a Revolution Eye Bright concealer. Those two are very beautiful. They're that light, very hydrating coverage, but I would say they look better under the eyes than the Joah one. The bronzers, I like both of them. I think I'm teetering a little bit more towards the Pink Honey. I like the tone of this. A little bit more cool tone, not as warm. It does have beautiful luminous glow. I kind of wish I'd gotten a bit darker, but I do like both of them. I think that I just prefer this one a little bit, but I think this one is just as beautiful. So hopefully this was helpful and you enjoyed this video. I really liked just playing with some new makeup that I picked up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll just catch you on the next one. Bye guys!